Yes. Everybody, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to Egal Talks Football, back again with another video. And big up to everyone coming over from MHF right now. Big up to Husam, big up to Mo, and of course, big up to everyone in the chat. Do me a favor, please do hit the like on this video on your way in. We're gonna have a one-on-one discussion, me and my buddy Husam. We haven't had this conversation in a little while on my channel, and we're just gonna have a little debrief of everything that's gone on since we last played each other, and just a little conversation about the league. Arsenal, can we come back? Can we make up a 9-point deficit? What's going to happen in the title race? Is Arsenal going to end up having another year where they come very far from winning the league? And is Liverpool going to run away with it? And even Man City might not even be able to catch them at some point if they continue to keep up this pace. Also, we have to talk about Real Madrid. Real Madrid want both Trent and William Saliba. Who's more likely to leave this upcoming summer? Plus. I just see a bunch of what do you call it? Leopards and trees. Leopards and trees. What are we doing? Leopard Liverpool. Is this Husam's thing? I'm so confused. Since when? Since when are you guys leopards? You guys can't play the underdog card. You cannot play the underdog card. You're 9-point clear. You need to embrace it. This whole underdog stuff is not happening. This first things first. Husam, how you doing?
The leopard in the tree is in the building. The underdog is in the building.
Explain this concept.
Okay, I'll explain to you the concept. Have you watched National Geographic before?
Yes.
You know how lions hunt, how hyenas hunt, how tigers hunt?
Yes.
How does a leopard hunt?
Go up a tree to eat their food.
Yes, we're just in the tree. We're watching everyone fight each other, and we're gonna pounce. You get me, on the gazelle. But we're gonna take our time. Take your time with it, shut up, troops. You get me? So spam that in the chat. Don't let Egal or anyone, Mo, whoever stop you. Spam in the chat.
The underdog gimmick has to stop.
It's never gonna stop.
It has to stop. Husam, at what point are you gonna actually embrace it and be like, you know what? We are the favorites.
When we're 15 points above in March.
Come on.
So, what? Come on, what, bro? There is no come on, bro. There is no come on.
What do you mean there's no come on?
Come on,
in the tree stuff. You're 9 points clear of Arsenal. You're 5 points clear of Man City. You're saying you have to have 15 points clear of Man City before you can say you're going to win it?
Yes, of course. I have to be 15 points above Manchester City in March to say I'm favorite.
Bro, I've seen you be 2 points off City and say you're going to go win it when you're in the treble winning season, potential season.
Maybe. Oh, you're comparing
or
the team.
I've seen you be
quadruple charge season.
I've seen you, what do you call it, be behind and still.
Okay, tell me in this current team who's Mane, who's Firmino, who's Fabinho. Yes.
See? Okay, so then
Robertson actually knew how to cross a football back then.
1 second. So then you agree with Babs, because have you seen Babs has been getting a lot of hate on Twitter lately? Because
we're the underdog, no problem. Anyone who says we're the underdog, I agree with it.
Because what Babs
I'm the leopard in the tree, mate.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if you've seen it, but on DR Sports, basically, they were talking about who is the biggest threat still. And Liverpool fans really got mad at Babs for saying he still views Man City as the biggest threat.
Yeah, but Man City are factually the biggest threat. Manchester City are a bigger threat than Arsenal. They're a bigger threat than Liverpool. They're the biggest threat. The team that won 4 in a row is the biggest threat. I don't get why people are crying over it. Now, does that mean that you show no respect towards Arsenal or Liverpool and you say that there is nothing to worry about? Of course not, because if we're 20 points above Arsenal come January time, then you have to shit yourself. But right now, as things stand, of course, Man City is the biggest threat. They won fucking 4 titles in a row. If Manchester City are not the biggest threat, then who the hell is the biggest threat? Nottingham Forest? Of course, Manchester City is the biggest threat. 100%, bro. So that, by the way, that one is not even leopard in the tree. That one is not even banter. That one is not even any BS. Everyone in the chat right now, give one word answer. Who do you think the biggest threat in this whole league is? Be serious.
Do you think they're a bigger threat to the Champions League and the Premier League than you?
No. The biggest threat in the Champions League is Real Madrid. Despite the fact that they play like shit right now, one thing about the Champions League is it's won in moments. And they have about 4 players who can win you a game in a moment. So 5 players, 6 players. So that's the thing. They have Courtois who can win you a game in a moment. Look at the chat. Everyone says City. Forget banter, forget leopard and tree, forget any of that. The truth of the matter is the biggest threat is actually Manchester City.
Yeah, Red Tang Taranga, big up to you. Big up to everyone in the comment section. Do me a favor, please do hit that like button. We got 172 of you guys already in the building. Please do hit that like button. You know what? You just mentioned Real Madrid. Real Madrid. These guys are going to
Want
be
to
a
do
thorn in
combined
our side.
11 egal? Do combined 11.
What?
Badal.
Oh,
Want to do
that combined
combined
11.
11 egal?
I'm never doing that shit again, bro. Although people think I was doing it for like things, wallah, I was serious at the time. But it's actually like
You know when I search your name, just so you know something. Let me tell you something on YouTube. When I search your name on a device that's not mine on YouTube, I write Egal Talks Football. The first word next to it is Real Madrid. Wallahi.
say wallahi.
Uqsim billah, the first thing in the search after Egal Talks Football is Real Madrid. Wallahi. In the recommended search. I write Egal Talks Football, first thing that pops up Real Madrid. I swear to God.
How do you say shame in Arabic?
Shame?
Yeah.
Shame is I don't know how to translate that, but like,
Or embarrassing.
Yeah, embarrassing, like ihraj.
Wallahi, it's ab. In Somali we say it's ab. I feel embarrassed.
Aib, yeah, you can say aib, yeah,
And
you can say aib.
you know what the worst part is? It ruined my New Year's because we lost to Fulham, and that video went viral on New Year's Day after we lost to Fulham. And wallahi, it was
Listen,
terrible.
you put yourself in that position. You can't be putting
Hey,
that many players.
Ben White
Fucking
over
9.
Palace, so
Are they
people-
Southampton? You put 9. Come on now.
Yeah,
Even
White-
Southampton, even teams in the like Mbuemo would start for Arsenal. Come on now. Like you can't put 9. Come on, you guys. You're doing too much.
Listen,
I
I
think
was
4
excluding
players from Liverpool.
I was excluding injured players, and I was basing it on form at the time. But forget about the Real Madrid combined 11 because that Egal combined 11 is just always going to be a thing, I guess now.
Actually, your
I can't
combined
do
11
nothing
with
about it.
Chelsea the other day was very fair on your shorts. You're fair on that.
That's what I tried to do. I'm not gonna go mental. But as for forget about that for a second. Let's get into this. Real Madrid want both William Saliba and Trent Alexander-Arnold. My question to you is, what's the likelihood Trent goes to Real Madrid this summer? And are you seriously worried before we talk about Saliba and Real Madrid? Because this is a major talking point, Husam. Real Madrid, Trent Alexander-Arnold, January, you could see them get a pre-agreement and your player could be walking out the door for nothing. Now,
yeah,
I know you want to keep Trent, but I think if he was to leave, he did everything you guys need from a player. He won you guys everything.
If I was in Trent's position, I'd leave. I'm very honest about this. I'm not gonna sit up here. Yeah. If I was in Trent's position, I'd leave. Listen, this club has no ambition. This club doesn't want to win. This club is not to win at all cost. This club does not want to succeed. The fact that a new manager comes in, and regardless of the job he's doing right now, we're saying in general now, the new manager comes in and you make profit in the manager's first transfer window, it's just pathetic. There is, and you know, you have seen multiple managers at your club. I've seen multiple. Usually the first summer or the first transfer window of a manager, that's when you spend the most money. You make this announcement to the whole world that you're going to back your manager, you're going to back your guy, you're going to spend money. And we ended up buying Federico Chiesa with no knees that we haven't even seen yet. And Mamardashvili for 3 years from now or 2 years from now, when we already have 3 very good goalkeepers. And that for me is the issue. If I was in Trent's place and I look at the way FSG operate, I look at the way the football club operates, I would leave. Yes, if I put emotions out of it. And once again, we're not talking about a regular club here. We're not talking about like any club. We're not talking about would I leave to Crystal Palace. We're talking about Real Madrid. And the allure, the attraction of Real Madrid is massive. Everyone knows this. It's very
one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yeah.
It's the biggest club in the world. It's like people around the world grow up dreaming, wanting to play for Real Madrid. And I think this is the thing here. We have to be just objective and honest about it. Bro, like, you have to accept that Real Madrid are a very attractive football club. And with your boy Saliba, it depends on the money that they give. It depends on a whole lot of stuff. For us, because he is running out of a contract, it's a lot shitter situation because we can't even go like, we want 90 million for Trent. So it's just in a position where if he wants to sign a pre-contract with them, he can. And if I was in his place, I see the way we operate, I would leave. I'd actually go to Michael Edwards right now, go like, listen, if you don't sign 3 players in January and help me get a league title, help me get another Premier League medal, another Champions League medal, I'd leave. I would literally use that against the club because it's just, they're taking the piss, bro. Everyone in the chat, listen, there are a lot of Liverpool fans in the chat. We're all happy that we're top of the league. We're all happy that we're top of the Champions League. Everyone's happy right now. Yes.
Of course.
But the truth of the matter is, we know that summer was shocking. Everyone agrees in the chat. Every Liverpool fan. You can't Arne Slot's first summer and all you do is sign Chiesa. Come on, you're taking the actual piss. So well done to Slot for doing a fantastic job. But as things stand, it's just the lack of ambition. I'd leave, bro. If I was in.
Do you think Arsenal have the same issue with the lack of ambition?
Arsenal's issue currently is silverware, because Saliba, when he goes home to his mansion,
But you don't think we have a lack of ambition?
No, I think you have actively tried to win over the last 2 years. You know, signing Rice, signing players like that. I think you have done. Maybe it's spending money on the wrong players, which I respect. You know, you could make that argument that maybe you've spent money on the wrong people. But for me, look, when it comes to Arsenal, it's a different problem. Your problem is not lack ambition. Your problem for me is trophies, awards, medals. Because Saliba, at the end of the day, when he goes home to his mansion in London, he doesn't want to look at it and see nothing. He wants to have won something. He wants to have achieved something, you know? And this is where this conversation like lands for me. Like, you have to sit up here and we have to be objective about all this and say, listen, Saliba wants to win trophies. How can Saliba get into the Ballon d'Or conversations? How can he get into the World 11s? How could he be considered a staple in the French national team? Win trophies, bro. If Saliba goes to Real Madrid with Trent and, you know, in their first year, they win a Champions League and Saliba has an unbelievable season, then not Didier Deschamps or 15 Didier Deschamps will stop him from starting for the French national team, you know?
You know what? We got a super chat, but someone just asked me, are you Somali? How can you not tell I'm Somali? Like, what's going on? Do I have to speak Somali in every stream for you to know that I'm Somali? Wallah, you just call him Nas.
Yeah, Ahmed is a Nas.
Come on, we got, what is this? Castro. Caster. He basically says, what's worse, Egal's combined 11 or Turkish's Arsenal's front three's MSN? Oh, that was bad. And because it's Turkish and he's genuinely somebody who's very balanced and like doesn't get too excited, I think that's worse.
Yes, I think because Egal has a lot of shit takes, we know this. So Turkish having a shit take is a bit more shocking. And listen, I don't even think Mane, Firmino, and Salah are close to MSN. Listen, MSN is different gravy, bro. I'm gonna be so honest with you. So I'll probably say that one is a worse take.
All right. Let's go quickly though. Saliba. I think Saliba's less likely to leave than Trent because we still have him under contract for 2 more years because we're still early in our project. And let's be honest, Real Madrid need a center back now. They're not going to wait until the summer to go get a center back. They're going to probably get somebody in January. They're going to probably get somebody else in the summer also. And I just think William Saliba is going to cost them a lot of money. I think they're going to try to get Trent on a free. I think they're going to try to get Alphonso Davies on a free, and they might kick the center back position down the can when it comes to trying to get a major center back.
No, they need a center back. You best believe.
I know, but I don't think they're going to be able to get Saliba from us this summer.
Yeah, but think about this objectively. If you get your right back and your left back free, you can pay for the center back.
Because they don't much are they going to pay for Saliba? I would want like 120 minimum.
Egal, stop being delusional. Egal, forget what you want. Let's assess what's really happening in front of our very own eyes.
Do you think it will happen though? I don't think Arsenal will sell.
Yes, but sometimes it's not even about Arsenal selling. What if Saliba doesn't turn up to training? What if he kicks up a fuss? What if he wants to leave? Then what?
If he wants to leave, then we're kind of screwed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Real Madrid's, listen, when you, if this was Bayern want Saliba, I get it. Because they're not as attractive as Real Madrid. You don't even get as much global recognition when you play like for Real Madrid versus Bayern. There is a whole lot of stuff. But when it comes to Saliba, I think we're not looking at 120. 120, you're doing too much. I think you're probably going to get around 90 million for Saliba.
Regardless,
90 million plus 10 add-ons. Something
whatever
like that.
It is, it's going to be a club record. We have him 2 more years under contract. Do you think Arsenal's going to sell him now?
Yeah, but as I just told you, it's not even about Arsenal wanting to sell. It's the fact that Real Madrid want him, Egal. That's why I'm telling you, like, bro, if Inter Milan wanted Trent, I would be a lot more relaxed and calm right now. But when we say Real Madrid, you're talking about the biggest club in the world. William Saliba probably dreams of playing for Real Madrid.
He's still 23 years old. I still think Real Madrid will want him in 2 years' time. I think we could potentially sell him on the fact that we have something to finish here, and there's unfinished business.
Yeah, but if you don't finish your business this season, what makes him go for the unfinished business part 4? You've already done part 1, 2. This is part 3 this season. If you go part 4, then you're just wasting your time.
You can give him a guarantee and say you'll sell him off the back of next season, because then you have 1 year left.
Listen, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
I've seen it. Luis Suarez.
Yeah, but if Real Madrid come calling Egal, why don't you accept it's a different knock, bro?
I've seen a lot of people always give 1 more year to the team. We've seen it with Eden Hazard with Real Madrid.
Yeah, Suarez did it.
We've seen it with Luis Suarez.
Yeah, but who wanted Hazard?
I think because Arsenal have all the negotiation power on this point, and I'm not too concerned, Husam, honest truth. But
okay, but I'll tell you something. Suarez, use that example. Who wanted Suarez first?
Arsenal.
Yes, and who did he go to eventually? Barcelona.
Barcelona.
That's why I'm saying there is a different knock.
I get it. Look at Rafinha. We wanted Rafinha. We were ready to pay.
And Chelsea wanted
Barcelona. Pedro, what about this summer? Nico Williams. We wanted Nico Williams. We were ready to pay. He waited. He's waiting for Barcelona. It is what it is, bro. I acknowledge that there's other clubs that are bigger than Arsenal in this world. I'm not like one of these other fans who just say my club's the biggest in the world and no one's bigger. No, there is clubs bigger. It's just a reality. What can you do?
And clubs more attractive, 100%.
Yeah, but I think right now, Arsenal is one of the most attractive clubs out there.
Yes, one of the most, but not the most. I think the most attractive club in the world right now is Madrid. And
let's talk about somebody who both of us have been trying to get. And you've ranted about him a lot. I don't know if you've seen, he's trending today. Zubimendi. Reason why, he now wants to leave. All of a sudden now he wants to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And the reports are that Zubimendi, the situation is being monitored by Arsenal, it's being monitored by Man City, and it's being monitored by Liverpool. He's made himself known that he wants to. Now he's ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to say about Zubimendi, bro?
I don't think Arsenal needs Zubimendi. I think Liverpool and Man City need Zubimendi right now. Arsenal don't need Zubimendi. Arsenal need players more in the forward line. If I'm sat here, I'm saying
Jorginho upgrade.
Bro, he's an upgrade on your whole midfield, not just Jorginho. But that's beside the point.
We got parts of Jorginho.
You look at priorities. You need a forward right now. Would you rather sign Gyökeres or Zubimendi? Seriously.
Gyökeres.
Yeah, if I'm an Arsenal sporting director right now, I'd rather sign Gyökeres as well. You're already in a position where you've got Partey, you've got Rice, you've got Moreno, you've got Jorginho. Yes, it's upgrade on all of them, and he's a very good player, but it's not what you need. You need attackers. As a matter of fact, I will probably, if I was like the sporting director for Arsenal, I would prioritize signing an attacker and a left winger ahead of signing Zubimendi. I would prioritize both.
Bro, you're spitting. I agree with you. We don't invest enough in our attack. Last time we bought a striker was Jesus. Last time we bought a player for the attack was, if I'm not mistaken, was Leandro Trossard. Our attack, we don't buy attackers. Our attackers are Martinelli, who we paid 7 million, Saka, and Kai Havertz for 65 million, who I thought was coming in as a midfielder initially, not as a striker. Even you probably thought that as a rival. You're like, why are you buying Havertz? Oh, we're going to play him as a 10. We're going to play him as an 8. Overall,
and Havertz initially was bought to play the 8 as well.
Arsenal have spent 65 million in the attack in the last 5 years, if you exclude Kai Havertz.
That's actually insane. That's what I'm saying. Zubimendi to Arsenal makes no sense. You already have Partey and Rice, who are a very decent partnership anyway. That's like, it just makes no sense. That's like us signing I don't know, a very good right winger. It makes no sense. You have to sign someone a bit less than Salah, so Salah is the starter.
All right. Before we get into this season, there's been one more bit of news. Any Liverpool news before we go into Arsenal news quickly?
I mean, my club are not actively looking at priorities as well.
Any injuries or any bad news? Any good news?
There's rumors that we're looking at Marmoush. So we're going to get another attack.
How many attackers do you guys need, for fuck's sake?
We're the opposite. We needed the midfielder badly, signed Gakpo. And now we needed the midfielder as well badly, and we're looking at Marmoush. My club makes no sense.
Is Marmoush a Salah replacement? Egyptian for Egyptian?
No. Marmoush is a striker / left winger. Actually, the news is probably that Mo might sign a 2-year extension. And if he does, we celebrate, inshallah, because that's massive news.
Nah, but it is funny though. Omar Marmoush coming in as a potential Egyptian for Egyptian. Now all you need is a Senegalese player and a Brazilian to replace Roberto Firmino and Mane.
Listen, I don't think we can replace these, to be honest with you. So
Pep
they're very
Guardiola
difficult.
settings. You can't replace them. Okay, bro. I don't know if you heard. Arsenal got another injury, bro. Year from hell for
Oh.
Arsenal right now. Before we go into the predictions, Ben White is injured. Ben White had an operation. Bro, I know Ben White might not be starting every game, but it's still like the extra piece of rotation you need. When Saliba got suspended, we needed him. And now the guy had an operation 8 weeks, bro. 8 weeks is no joke, you know? That means he's going to be gone until next year.
Is this a
It's
a trustworthy
unconfirmed.
source?
It's unconfirmed, but this guy's pretty reliable, bro.
I mean, to be fair, like one thing, this is where you can't blame Arteta or the club because they did come ready in terms of defensive depth. Like, I don't think anyone can deny that Arsenal walking into the season were ready for defensive depth issues. I mean, you signed Calafiori, you've got Ben White, you've got Timber, you've got Kivior, you've got Zinchenko, you've got all these players who can play in all these positions, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Gabriel, so you have a whole lot of options. Ben White, I feel like maybe he didn't start the season off too strong, but the last 3, 4, 5 games, he's actually been probably one of your better players, to be honest with you. So this is obviously bad news for Arsenal, in my opinion, with the Ben White injury. You know, but listen, at the end of the day, I look at this Arsenal injury situation, and I wouldn't say it's an injury crisis yet, because the players all will be back. I think I don't think any club has an injury crisis per se right now. Crisis is a big word.
So obviously,
crisis is like Van Dijk, Matip, and Gomez all out till the end of the season, and you have to play Nat Phillips and Reece Williams.
It's not that bad. It's not that.
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, thank you.
Not that bad. You watch a lot of
Tomiyasu back, by the way.
Oh yeah. Tomiyasu. We got an update
you
on
could
Tomiyasu.
Play him right back.
So Tomiyasu's back, and so is So Tomiyasu and Calafiori are going to be back post international break. Let me show you. So that's
so you could play Timber right back, Calafiori left back. It works.
Yeah, so Calafiori and Timber are going to be available, and Tomiyasu finally is available. That guy, bro, he's always injured, man. I think we got to sell him. I think we need to get rid of him. I don't think he's going to be able to do much. But before we go to everybody else, please do hit that like button, guys. Please do hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, me, Husam, and everybody else is going to be live later on Husam's channel for Al Ahwa. But of course, the reason why we're here is the Premier League title race. And Husam, I want to talk to you about this. I know you don't want to talk about being favorites. The computer has you as favorites. Liverpool are favorites at this moment in time. The question is, can they maintain the level that they've been at for the remainder of the season and continue to run away with the league?
Yeah, but the supercomputer 2 years ago said Arsenal are going to win the league, so why the fuck should I trust the supercomputer? The supercomputer told me before the quadruple charge season that I'm going to win the league. So this whole supercomputer stuff, with all due respect, I don't believe in it at all. This whole supercomputer stuff. At the end of the day, football is not a game of just numbers and probabilities and possibilities. And football is a game that's even worse to win than the NBA. I mean, the NBA, at least when I'm using the analogy because me and you both get it, the NBA, 90% of the time, the most talented team eventually wins. 90% of the time, the most talented, the deepest team. But there's so many circumstances. There's injuries, there's fatigue, there's signings. Prime example, if we go further in the Carabao Cup, and if we win the FA Cup game and stuff like that, and we go obviously advance in the Champions League, then Gravenberch is looking at playing 60 games. McAllister is looking at playing 60 games. We brought on Salah away at Brighton in the Carabao Cup 4th round. That's how much we lack depth right now. So that's why I'm saying we must sign players in January. And as things stand right here, right now, there's a reason why I say we're the underdog. Manchester City, are 5 points behind us? Oh, whoop-de-doo. Man City can't make a 5-point gap. Wow. It's so difficult for them to make it. Can we be fucking serious? Of course, Man City can make a 5-point gap. All it takes is for us to... We haven't even played Man City yet. If they draw at Anfield and beat us at the Etihad, that's a 4-point swing right there. So this whole conversation of like, oh yeah, Liverpool are the best team. And you guys weren't saying this in the summer. I mean,
No,
even when
people were saying Liverpool would finish outside the top 4.
exactly, you work with people, you've seen people say that
Some people
Liverpool are
had
going
you
to finish below
6th,
Man
and
United.
United fans had you 6th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People predicted us to finish below Man United. People predicted us to finish below Chelsea, below Spurs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how can you now in November tell me we're favorites because of a supercomputer? Fuck the supercomputer. Game at a time. It's too early. It's too early. Let's play City first. Let's beat Southampton first, because that's not an easy game. And you have to take it game at a time, bro. We have a difficult run now in December. So yeah.
You know something? I get myself caught between two conversations. One being trying to put down Liverpool, two being trying to prop them up so you guys can fall. But if I'm going to keep it 100% honest, I think you guys have had a really good start to the season. You've beaten the teams you're supposed to beat, and some of the tough games, Mo Salah has absolutely carried you guys, and
Yeah.
as he should. It's not an insult. Mo Salah is probably one of the best players in the league, and he's playing like the best player in the league right now. So that's credit to him. That's not an insult to Liverpool. But you know where, Husam, where people get mad at me? People get mad at me. I know you're not on Twitter anymore, but you probably seen my tweet, right?
No.
So I tweeted this, and it's really pissed off a lot of people. I said, 6 out of Liverpool's 9 wins this season are against these teams. And the context is Arsenal have only played 5 of these teams. And we've played the remaining, 7 games. We've played have been against the tougher teams, where you guys have had the opposite. You've played 6 of your games against these teams, and you've played 5.
But you lost to Bournemouth.
No, we played 4 games. Yeah, but Bournemouth, we were down to 10 men, and even Man City lost to them with 11. My point is,
and we beat Bournemouth.
My point is, bro, Ipswich away, Wolves away, Crystal Palace away. Those are easier away games than Man City, Aston Villa, and friggin' Newcastle. Forget about Newcastle. Tottenham.
But you know what debunks this whole logic? The same supercomputer said that Manchester City had an easier start to the season than Liverpool, and we're above them. So if I put Arsenal out of the equation, and I just talk about Liverpool and City, the supercomputer said that City have an easier schedule than us, and we're above them. Every game in the Premier League is a difficult game.
City have had a harder schedule than you.
But it
Look
doesn't
at
matter
the
what
games
team
they played away from home. West Ham, Newcastle.
Easy.
Newcastle, West Ham, Chelsea,
Easy.
Bournemouth, and Brighton,
Easy.
and Wolves.
Easy.
That's much harder. Let me put it on the screen. So
yeah, but I'm talking about the whole supercomputer thing. The same supercomputer was the same thing that mentioned that Liverpool. You see the picture. No, forget this. I'm not talking about us having.
Bro, we've done this before with even Hamza. Be honest. Ipswich, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, and Man United is not as difficult as Chelsea, West Ham, Newcastle, Wolves, Bournemouth, and Brighton.
Says who? Why?
Besides
Arsenal is a tougher fixture than all the ones that they had. Man United for Liverpool is always a tough fixture and tougher than anyone that they had. Crystal Palace away is not an easy game at all. Wolves away is not an easy game at all, because that's another team as well. That didn't City drop points to Wolves?
I could argue and say Chelsea, West Ham, Bournemouth, and Brighton this season is tougher than Ipswich, Wolves, Crystal Palace, 100%. Arsenal is the toughest games between both teams, but then Man United, on paper, yes, it's a tough game, but overall, out of your 5 games that you've had away from home, let's be honest, they're not that tough compared to Arsenal and Man City.
Yeah, but once again, Ipswich, as an example, Man City beat Ipswich at the Etihad 2-1. That's why I'm saying there is no easy game. Now, if you want me to tell you, you had the most difficult run, yes, you've had the most difficult run, but everyone will play everyone. And the problem is with your logic is you're assuming it's going to be 0 for Liverpool and +3 for Arsenal. That's not the case. I mean, last season, the proof is in the pudding. You lost to West Ham at home. You lost to Fulham at home. That stuff happened, bro. That stuff is real. That's not me making stuff up.
You know what actually happened so far? Liverpool have won 6 for 6 against the bottom half teams. Arsenal have had 4 games against the bottom half teams, and we lost one of them. We won 3 of them. In comparison, Liverpool against the top half of the table, you've dropped points in 2 of them, and you've won 3. So if you were to have played more games against the top half of the table, arguably you would have dropped way more points. Arguably, you.
And how many did you drop against the top half of the table?
What?
How many did you drop in against the top half of the table? Because
Bro,
you
we
drew to
only
us, you drew to City.
we only won 2 games against the top half. We
Yeah.
drew all of them and lost one.
Yeah, so you just proved my point. I'm saying it does not mean like you're just assuming that it's +3 Arsenal and 0 Liverpool, but that's not the case because you
I'm not saying
yourself.
+3. I'm saying maybe
Yeah, and you
like a
played Liverpool
4-point
at home
swing.
and you didn't beat us.
Sorry?
You played us at home and didn't beat us.
Yeah, that was your toughest game so far this season.
No, I'm talking about from your perspective. You played Liverpool at
Yeah,
home and didn't beat
we should have won that game. Unfortunately,
us. And
we
I
didn't.
left the Emirates disappointed that we didn't win because we played like shit.
I left the Emirates disappointed we didn't win also. I'm
Yeah,
like, we should have won
that's
that
my
game. We
point.
should have beat Man City.
You cannot guarantee a +3 for your team and then give an L for the other team.
I'm not guaranteeing an L.
What if we go to Aston Villa away and win, and we go to Spurs away and win? Then what?
Husam, I'm simply saying fixtures are a factor in teams' early form. For example, when Arsenal started off the year where we first got into the league title race and we started off the year until the World Cup with amazing record, fixtures was a factor. We had a lot easier games to start that season. Second half of the season, we faced a lot of the tough teams away from home. First half of the season, we faced City, Spurs, Man United, all at home early in the season. And all our away games were the easy away games against the lower half of the table teams. And we had an easier run. Now we have a tougher schedule to start the season. And the back end of our season, we have an easier schedule. So I'm saying the fixtures are a factor in your performances and your results early in the season.
Wrong. They are a factor. I'll tell you the part that are wrong in. They are a factor in results, yes. They're not a factor in performances. I'll give prime example. I expect my team to play a certain way, whether the game is difficult or easy. Like there is the maximum difficulty game is away at Man City at the Etihad. Do I expect Man City to have more attacks than us that game and attack us more? Yes, no problem. I say that, yes. But when I look at performances, the reason why I, as someone who predicted Arsenal to win the league, took a step back and went like, yo, they're playing like dog shit, is the Newcastle away game. The Newcastle away game for Arsenal, if Al Faisal go away to Newcastle, I expect them to have more than one shot on target. Never mind Arsenal. Whether it's a Rice shot from far, whether it's a Saka shot, whatever it is, you cannot leave Newcastle with only one shot on target. Now, can Arsenal start to pick up? Yes. But at the same time, you play Nottingham Forest at home after the international break. If you lose to Nottingham Forest at home, then what?
They're a top 10 team. I'm joking. Obviously, we should beat them. Beat them at home.
I agree with you. But if you do lose, then what?
Then there's going to be way more eye-opening conversations.
Okay, so Liverpool beats Southampton. You lose to Nottingham Forest at home. Then what?
Liverpool's supposed to beat Southampton. I'm not even looking at that as a win.
Yeah, but you're supposed to beat Forest at home as well at the same time. We didn't beat Forest at home, and I cooked my club for it.
Forest are technically like level on points with us or just close to us right now. Really and truly, they're outperforming their start to the season. They're performing really well. Based on the metric that I was looking at, there'd be another tough game, technically. They're level on points.
The issue with the argument, Egal, is if you're saying it affects results, fair enough. But I'll give you my problem with it.
I'm not only saying it affects results. I'm also saying it affects performances.
But that's where we disagree. Can I debunk it and then I'll let you respond?
No.
Let me just tell you why. Let
me explain my points, then you can debunk it. My performances versus Aston Villa away and Tottenham away are going to be much worse than my performances would be versus Wolves and Ipswich away. Yeah. That's my point. The difficulty in team you play away from home and the difficulty in game you have, your performances are going to be worse. You played Aston Villa at home, right? If you were to play the same Aston Villa away from home, your performance would be worse.
Okay. Hear me out why I say it shouldn't affect performances. Results I give you because you can go and you can lose a game of football. When it comes to performances, if you went to Newcastle away and you had 10 shots on target and your strikers just missed their chances and you ended up losing 1-0, fair enough. You go like, okay, you know what? We created all these chances and the players didn't score. I understand that. Like us in the title race last season. We went away to Man United. In the first half, we had 15 chances. They had 0. 15. We ended up drawing the game. That's why I didn't blame Klopp. But the reason why it shouldn't affect performances is you are expected to perform to a certain level if you're in a title race. Because I'm going to go to Brighton away. I'm going to go to Newcastle away. I'm going to go to Aston Villa away, all those clubs. I have to perform at a certain level, even though the result might not match the performance. Meaning, if you went away to Newcastle, you had 5 shots on target, and the keeper had a blinder, and fair enough. But that didn't happen. You had 1 shot on target, which is unacceptable for a team in the title race.
Husam, there's 2 things. One, we perform different away to Tottenham than we do away to Ipswich as a team. My manager plays those games differently. Number 1. Number 2, the performances based on the difficulty of fixtures, I think is a fair analysis of why some of Arsenal's performances have not been the same as the likes of Liverpool and others. Because guess what? We might not be going to Aston Villa away attacking them. We might not be going to Tottenham away attacking them. Actually, I know we're not going to Man City and attacking them in the second half, especially down with 10 men. Bournemouth, down with 10 men. We're not playing them the same way we would have if we had 11 men. So some of the performances, I think people will say excuses, but I genuinely believe it's fair to say the difficulty in schedule plus red cards has affected Arsenal's performances this season so far and has made us look worse than we actually are. That's why
I'm saying it shouldn't. Because last season, prime example, we were 10 men down away at Newcastle. We won the game 2-1. We had 10 men at home to Brighton and we beat them as well. We had 10 men. McAllister got sent off as well in the game at Anfield and we ended up winning that game. When it comes to this conversation,
Klopp was braver than Arteta in that situation.
Yes, and that's my point. When you play a team, you should perform at a high level, and if the result doesn't match the performance, fair enough. I understand that.
But then
the
we
problem
win the
is you
game
aren't
versus Aston
performing
Villa
at a level that we can all sit back and go like, Arsenal lost at Newcastle away, yes, but they had 10 shots and Nick Pope had the game of his life. No one is saying that, and that's the issue here. You get what I'm saying?
but we played Aston Villa and Tottenham. The performances were not better than the performance I seen in the second half versus Chelsea or the performance I seen in the first half versus Man City. But the results were
Aston Villa away was your best game. You had like 68% possession.
Aston Villa could have scored 4 goals.
Yes, they miss chances, and sometimes strikers miss chances against City. Sometimes they miss them against Liverpool. That's fine. I'm saying that was your best performance overall because you had the majority of the possession. You had so many chances. Trossard scored a fantastic goal. You had a lot of. That was your best away game for me. When it comes to Man United away, for example, who it's easier for him to go Everton away, me or you?
Oh, it's definitely easier for me.
Because it's not a rivalry and the Everton fans, players are not going to give 190% on the pitch to try to stop you. Yeah. There are fixtures in this league that have a bigger meaning for different clubs. Man United away, for any Liverpool fan or player, will tell you it's not an easy fixture for us because it's the biggest rivalry in English football. Same way, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when Man United were really good, they came to Anfield and we still beat them even with a shitter team or a lower quality team. Because games like these that are rivalries that have significance behind them are more difficult. That's why when you tell me you played defensive away at Spurs and won 1-0, no problem. Okay, I accept that. That's valid. But when you go away to Newcastle, Bournemouth, and you don't perform, you can't excuse it.
Okay, let me bring it back into why I think Arsenal can overcome the deficit. The reason why I think Arsenal can overcome the deficit with Liverpool, when the fixtures swing, I expect my team to go away and win some of these games that we have coming up. I think we're going to have a much easier schedule. This half of the season where we're going into the new year, facing the likes of Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Fulham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Ipswich. I expect us to start getting on a run in these games. I expect us to get into a run. And from now to the end of December, we don't leave London. Either we're playing a home game or we're playing against a team in London. So I think these are advantages that is going to help us maybe capitalize on a potential run or continue to get results. And from there, looking over at Liverpool, on the other hand, Husam, I'm looking at Liverpool and I'm saying to myself, you guys have had a really good start to the season. Can you keep it up now that you're going to be facing the likes of Tottenham, now that you're going to be facing Newcastle, now that you're going to be facing Man City, now that you're going to be having Real Madrid in the Champions League midweek also in between these games? I'm seeing tougher fixtures for you, plus Everton, as you said, which is a derby, which I think they beat you last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did.
So,
They did.
so these are things that I'm looking at, and I'm saying a win, a Man City win over Liverpool. Maybe Man City are getting a little bit away from us, but
Yeah, but then that means Man City get away from you.
That's still helping Arsenal because you're the furthest away, and we need to go to the top.
Yeah, but that's illogical. Now you're
City.
contradicting yourself, because if you're worried about Man City, not worried about Liverpool, then you should want Liverpool to beat Man City.
Really and truly, a draw might be the best result. Fair enough, right? Either
Egal,
way,
I'm not gonna let you sit on the fence.
Either way,
get you beat a genie right now, and he says, "I'm gonna make your dreams come true." Either Liverpool beat City or City beat Liverpool. Which one are you choosing?
Right now, since City don't have Rodri, I think they're gonna continue to drop points, and I need them to beat you.
So indirectly, you just said Liverpool are a bigger threat than City. That's what you just said.
I think Liverpool losing 3 points because they have a 9-point gap on Arsenal is more of an essential to bring down than us worrying about Man City.
Because you said City are a bigger
threat. If Man City and Arsenal both win, we stay level. But I would rather bridge the gap between you and us at this moment in time, because you're at the top. I don't want to be closer to second. I want to be closer to first. Simple.
Okay. If I say City are a bigger threat than Arsenal, if I say City are a bigger threat than Arsenal play against Man City,
1 second, Husam,
I would want Arsenal to beat Man City.
Husam, it's not about threat. It's about being closer to the top.
But that's beside the point. If Liverpool aren't a big threat like Man City, then you do expect Liverpool at some point in time to start dropping points.
These are the games where I need you to drop points.
You're missing the point. You're saying Manchester City are a bigger threat. Because Manchester City are a bigger threat, you should want Liverpool to beat Man City, because using your logic, we're taking down the bigger threat, and now you have this smaller threat to deal with that will eventually drop points after playing the difficult fixtures.
I hear that, but at the same time, I think my logic stands. Yes, I can see Man City as a team that could maybe go and get 15 wins in a row or something, but at this moment in time, there's how many gap between us and them? I think it's like 4, where for you,
9.
The gap between us is 9. Simply put, I want to be a step closer to the top of the table than I want to be a step closer to second. I know people are saying Man City are more threatening, but that's because of their ability to go and strengthen in the transfer window and maybe go replace Rodri and then go kick on from there. But I'm not worried about that right now. Right now, I'm just trying to bridge the gap to first. If that doesn't make sense, I don't know what people are saying.
No. I understand what you're saying, but you're talking about the here and now. I'm looking at the generality of your argument. If I see a club as a bigger major threat than the other club and they play each other, I want the bigger threat to lose. That's just my honest opinion. If you're talking about short term, it's going to affect Liverpool. Yes, but you think Liverpool are going to fall off anyway. So what's the point?
And I think the catalyst to the fall off is for you to stop dropping points. If you continue to win, and you get a win versus Man City, that is going to spur you on to continue to win and maybe go on to win the league. And if you win versus Man City, what more do you need to continue to spur you on? I think a win versus Man City would hurt Arsenal more than benefit us.
A win versus Man City and we're still underdogs.
No, you're not. You win versus
Man City. Yes, I am. You're not
going to tell me. If you get a draw versus Arsenal and you get a win versus Man City, and you take your 5-point lead to an 8-point lead, you are slowly diminishing that tag of underdog. You can say you might be an underdog from the beginning of the season, but you're no longer an underdog if you're beating Man City away and you're getting a draw versus Arsenal.
Yeah. If we play Man United at Anfield on January 5th, if by January 5th we're 20 points above Man City or Arsenal, then I'll say we're favorites. Right now we're underdogs.
Right now, if you want to say you're underdogs, but everyone is going to start putting you guys as favorites as the season continues. And if you guys keep a 9-point deficit, or you grow that 9-point deficit that 5-point deficit, you're going to continue to win. And fucking hell, if you guys win the league, I would be Arteta out if friggin' Liverpool won the league.
Do you think Chelsea can finish above you?
No.
What percentage chance you think it's going to happen or not happen?
I don't think it's possible. I think Liverpool. I think Chelsea. I think Chelsea are too inconsistent, and I think Chelsea right now are flat track bullies slightly. They're playing. They beat up on 2 teams and scored 10 goals in 2 games, and everyone thinks they're amazing. Like, yes, they're level on points with us, but they're not that good.
Fair enough. I think
as the season goes on, you're gonna see the inconsistencies. And another thing, both you and Liverpool have you and Chelsea have one thing in common: a new manager, a new sample size. Once people kind of figure you guys out, let's see how you guys evolve, how you guys continue to develop.
But there's something we have a nuclear weapon. They don't.
Mo Salah.
Yes, yes. We have someone that can score a goal or get an assist out of literally nothing. Literally, Aston Villa, prime example. Salah on the counter attack twice, goal 1, goal 2, done. That's what I'm saying.
Let's go to super chats quickly. First, we got Terrence. Arsenal and City did not beat Bournemouth, Brighton, but Liverpool. Liverpool beat. All fixtures are tough. You can't cut the BS. I've got to beat that. What's in front of you? First of all, Arsenal got red cards in both those games, so right away it's not the same as City's losses. City lost with 11 men in both those games. Also, Brighton at home. If Liverpool would have got a red card to Mo Salah, you lose that game. If Liverpool would have got a red card to Van Dijk, you lose that game also, or you drop points in that game also. So let's not act like the 10 men is not a big difference in this situation. But hey,
I don't know for a fact we would have lost the game. And also, it's not like Saka got sent off. Who got sent off versus Bournemouth? Saliba.
It was also Brighton. It was Declan Rice.
Yeah. That's like, but last season,
Gravenberch got sent off. If Gravenberch,
I give you the example. Last season, McAllister got sent off at home in Anfield, and we won.
Okay, fair enough. Let's go to the next super chat though. As for but Husam, the thing is, people are gaslighting me into saying that red cards don't matter. That's crazy because 11 men Man City, 11 men Man City are losing to the same teams I'm losing to.
No, red cards do matter, but once again, we go back to result versus performances. You get what I'm saying? You should have at least controlled some form of possession against Bournemouth, made 5-6 shots on target. That I'll give you a prime example. When it was 0-0, Martinelli went 1-on-1, and he shot it straight at the Bournemouth keeper. Kepa was in goal as well.
Yeah, he needs to be more.
Remember? Yeah, if you had 4 or 5 more chances like that, and you ended up losing, people will say at least you performed well. The problem is you aren't even performing at a high level. That's the issue.
I put that down to Arteta's cowardice at times. Play Ethan. People are saying Egal is basically saying you haven't played anyone. To a degree, at times, yeah. Yes, you played Leverkusen in the Champions League. I want to see if you guys beat Real Madrid. Right now, I think you could.
But even if we don't beat Real Madrid, that doesn't really prove anything because we're in the group stages.
Fair. We will finish above Arsenal. Not good enough. Not good either.
You're not that good either. He's a Chelsea fan, Blaze.
I know Blaze is a Chelsea fan. Big up, Blaze. I'll tell you this, Blaze. I don't think you guys have a better defense than us. I don't think you have a better goalkeeper than us. And as the season goes on, you're not going to just be able to outscore every team. You're going to have to show some solid defensive prowess. And we have not shown that because of our midfield being a little bit shaky with Odegaard not being there. But with Odegaard being there, the best form of attack is holding on to the ball and keeping possession. And I expect us to keep the ball better. And I expect us to keep possession a lot better going forward with Odegaard there. But hey, that's my answer.
Let me ask you a question quickly.
Go ahead.
I know you think performances will improve and all that. No problem. Let me ask you I'll ask you a real question. How many points are you off of Liverpool right now?
9.
How many points are you off of Man United?
4.
Does that not tell you something?
Bro, that's normal. It's so early in the season.
But at this point in time, 11 games into the season, that's exactly why I can't sit up here and say Liverpool are favorites. Because Arsenal are closer to Man United than they are Liverpool. And everyone in this chat knows that Man United are going to finish far off both Arsenal and Liverpool. So let's just be serious and objective. It's way too early, guys. It's November. It's fucking November. Everyone needs to relax. Everyone needs to take a chill pill. Everyone needs to breathe. Right now, yes, we're doing really well, but we have to take it game at a time.
It's easy for you to say that in your position, but when you're in my position, no one wants to hear that. They just want to.
Yeah, no, I don't even disagree with you completely. I said if your argument is results, I agree. Performances for me, Newcastle away, sorry, Habibi, more than one shot on target. That's not acceptable. So performances matter in terms of performances versus results. We have lost games in the title race. Crystal Palace at home, we lost 1-0. We missed like 6 1-on-1s, bro. We missed like 6 gilt-edge goal-scoring opportunities. So there's a, and I know people don't like this, but it's the reality. There is a way to lose. Like, you can lose a game of football, but lose it in a certain style, in a certain way, where Nick Pope is making 50 saves in a row and you're making his life hell, but you just end up missing. That's just not how it goes, though, in watching Arsenal. The performances have been bad. That's the issue.
Yeah. Egal, stressed out. Don't make football do this to you. I'm not stressed out. It's just my team's not performing well. My team's not performing well, and I'm trying to figure out the context behind it. And everyone's telling me it's excuses. I feel like people are, Husam, am I using the word gaslight incorrectly? Because I feel like people are gaslighting me into telling me.
No, you're not being gaslit, Egal.
My context, people are telling me my statistical context and the facts that I'm laying out on the table are not correlating with what I'm actually, I have no correlation to what I'm saying. To tell me red cards are irrelevant to why Arsenal have dropped points is crazy. To tell me the difficulty in schedule is irrelevant to our performances, I think is crazy. And
okay, let me ask you a question. So the next 5 Arsenal fixtures, Nottingham Forest, the next 5 Arsenal fixtures, Nottingham Forest, Sporting, West Ham, Man United, and Fulham. The next 5 Liverpool fixtures, Southampton, Madrid, City, Newcastle, and Everton. Okay? In your next 5 games, let's say you win 4 and draw 1, and we win 4 and draw 1. Then what?
It doesn't help us if you draw points in the Champions League.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. In the next 5 Premier League games, if we win 4, draw 1, and you win 4, draw 1, what does that show you then?
We're staying in the same distance from each other. Nothing's changed.
Okay, but if we get past the Man City test and past the Everton away test and past the Newcastle away test, then what?
And we also win our games?
Yeah.
It shows that you're a lot more, people have to take you a lot more serious because you're winning the games that people are questioning.
Fair enough.
Right? It's not just about what we do, it's also about who you do it against. So if you're doing it against the best of the best and you're now consistently getting these results, I don't think anyone can question you. The main reason why people say you haven't played anybody is because your first couple games of the season were gimmies. And you guys had to still do it and perform. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the issue with this, Egal. After we played Ipswich and Brentford beat both, right? Before Man United away, and you're an honest man, you know people were saying that was Liverpool's first test. Yes, and we won 3-0. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I'm saying there is tests that for some people it's not a test. Because when I say Everton away, people laugh. But Everton away is a tough fixture for Liverpool specifically, out of all the 19 Premier League clubs. That's just the reality, guys.
I know. And you know something? The moment you passed the Man United test, that test was basically found out that it was too easy because the test was made years ago. Or for example, the test is outdated because the team you're playing is not on the level that we used to think they were.
Yeah, but it's still a difficult fixture for us regardless because the biggest game. It's not like Man United didn't want to win. Alisson made 2 saves on Xerxes. But
you know, this always happens when people say people are going to say Nottingham Forest is a big test for Arsenal at home, or not big test, but like they're going to say it's a tough game. We're going to go win that game, and then they're going to say you're supposed to beat Forest. Then we're going to play West Ham away. People are going to say, "Oh,
no, but there's levels to tests, Egal. There's levels to tests. Not all tests are created equal. You're Canadian, right? You grew up in Canada. There's A levels, there's APs, there's O levels, there's SATs, there's different levels to exams and tests and all that type of stuff.
The thing is, I get it.
I give you a genuine question right now. You as a Arsenal fan, which is an easier fixture for you? Forest at home or Spurs away?
Spurs away.
Easier than Forest at home?
Spurs away is harder.
Yes, and that's my point. Even if Spurs were 15th and Forest were 2nd, you would rather play Forest than Spurs because Spurs are going to give their all to try beat you. And that is my point. Man United gave their all to try beat us, but we slapped them 3-0.
Third super chat of the night. Big up Blaze said, LOL, love Egal. Every stream, he's always sees his team as the most optimistic situation and getting W runs, but Chelsea are track bullies and Liverpool will drop points. Do you think I'm always biased?
Yes, 100%.
Really?
Yes. I think you're capable of being unbiased when it doesn't involve Arsenal. So if I were to ask Egal about Bournemouth, he can give me an unbiased answer. But anything involves my club, you can't be unbiased.
You know, shit. You know what? Okay, let's end it off with the final point. Husam, can you finally admit I was right about the referees? These guys are biased, and there's referees who do have agendas.
Yes, I was. I've never denied the fact that you were right about referees because I share the same view. I think the referees are incompetent and they're useless. This goes to prove that when you came in after Aston Villa and said Liverpool, I actually went back and watched the correct angles of those fouls that beIN Sports shows, and that's why I told you it wasn't a penalty. I always say if there is a penalty against my team, I always say it. But against Aston Villa, they were not robbed. They didn't get any penalties they should have. And at the end of the day, these referees are incompetent and they're a bunch of useless losers, to be honest with you. There's a clip Terry put up today where Danny Simpson is saying a ref told him, I would have sent you off, but I want Leicester to win the league. That's just unacceptable by any stretch of the imagination. Like, that's why I'm saying I hate the refs and everything that they're saying. And the videos allegedly that today came out regarding the same individual are even crazier, but let's not even go there. Let's not even go there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let's just go to the referees though. I'm gonna say this, Husam. I genuinely believe that the referees are not making mistakes because of incompetence. I feel like this might be an allegation, but I do think, how do you forget to check VAR for some of these calls? How do you forget to draw the lines versus Brentford? How do you what do you call it, interfere when there's 4 referees are speaking on the VAR and saying, all of them are saying it's a yellow card. One of them overrules everyone and says it's a red. And then the on-field referee agrees with them.
Mm-hmm.
The kick in the chest last year for Doku on McAllister.
Yeah, that wasn't given as a penalty even after VAR check.
What?
That wasn't given as a penalty even after the VAR check. That's the fucked up part.
I really don't know what's going on here. Is there corruption? How would there be corruption for them to help Man City win, though? Don't they hate Man City? Aren't they suing Man City? The Premier League owns the PGMOL. The PGMOL is owned by the FA. They all are one. But how?
I mean, here's the thing with the Man City stuff. I think referees are just afraid to make decisions against Manchester City for some reason. I really don't know what the reason is. And usually the most dominant team always get decisions in their favor in any league. But the problem is now VAR exists. So we see multiple replays. Perfect example is Liverpool lost the league by a point against Manchester City. And Rodri handball happened that season away at Goodison. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can call out your club, which I've been doing consistently, but that does not mean that I can't acknowledge that the referees are crap as well. I think the referees have made multiple different wrong decisions for everyone except Manchester City. And that's my honest opinion.
By the way, David Coote, Man City have 100% win rate against him.
Yeah, I know. Tom's told me.
You know, Arsenal has the worst win rate against him than Liverpool.
Yeah, but that's because, listen, here's the thing. Liverpool are a very good team, bro. And also, they took David Coote off of Liverpool Premier League games for 2 years as well. So maybe that contributes. Yeah, that makes it more sinister because they probably knew about this.
Bro, I'm going to say this. I think the video that got leaked today was a job where somebody within the PGMOL were saying, we need to bury this guy. They didn't want to sack him because they like protecting their referees. So they needed some other thing outside of just him giving his opinion on Liverpool and Klopp to get rid of him.
Yeah, that's why they're doubling down with this drugs thing.
Yeah. But hey, maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist, but I think there's a lot of referees that do this, and I wouldn't even be surprised that there's a couple of referees that have buddies who do ACAs and they help them out. But we can't prove that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we can't prove that. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Anyways, it's happened in the NBA. It's happened in other sports. It's happened in Italy. You can never know. Anyways, it's alleged. But hey, we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'm gonna be on Husam's channel at 10 o'clock. Go check out Dan Potts. He's live right now. That's my buddy. And hopefully we catch you guys in the next show. Love for the love, people. Husam, great show, man. I always like having a great discussion with you, and hopefully I can do more of these one-on-one discussions, because I feel like people just have a bad impression of me as a person when it comes to talking about football. They only see me getting back at people or yelling and screaming. They don't
you know who you need to get next? Get Tom Little. I think that would bang. That would bang 100%.
Let's go. Have a good one, guys. We're out of here. Peace.